Good morning, everybody. This is Jillian. I took a break yesterday from Facebook Live because I really didn't feel like getting on Facebook Live. Just didn't feel like doing it. And it wasn't like I was sick or anything. I just felt really just quiet. Like I needed some solitude. Though, yeah, I do comment back and forth on Facebook and stuff like that. And I do keep track of things. And yeah, I did a video last night about bullying stuff because it needed to happen. I need to make sure that my group is taken in the right direction. And I know a lot of my people in my group are going through some major life changes. And so my group is there to support people going through the life changes. And if that means I have to get on Facebook Live, even though I don't really feel like it, I will, to address it so that way they understand that, yeah, you know, the part of the Jilly Juice process is to understand how to deal with controversy and how to deal with people not agreeing with you, whatever it is. And it's difficult. So hopefully I did reach, the people I needed to reach in the group, and that's fine. But really, overall, yesterday, I just did not feel like just getting on Facebook Live. But last night, man, I'll tell you what, in the middle of the night, there are indicators. I'll just tell you this. I'm not going to say too much, but this pandemic isn't over. But we can't sacrifice the country for the good of the few. Okay? Yeah, this virus is mutating. And the indicators are there. I'm strong enough now. I handled, I think, most of the viruses that I know of in the environment, but yeah, there's going to be more mutating viruses. Maybe there's only 2 or 3 they know about, but I've heard there's around 8 mutations. Hey, Tiffany. So this is why it's so important to understand the Jilly Juice world. Okay, you've got to understand it, because if you're not doing the new recipe, if you're not doing the Jilly Juice in some way, shape, or form, I'm telling you, these viruses will kick your ass. Because it hasn't kicked your ass or it hasn't reached your circle of people just yet, doesn't mean it's not going to. Right now, we're all under quarantine. What does that mean? It means that we're social distancing ourselves. We're not mixing in. People are not getting massive amounts of viral loads, so they're not dropping like flies. But wait until they lift the restrictions. And then people start relaxing and living as if this never happened. Because that's kind of what some people are doing. Some people are actually listening to the law or listening to the leaders, and they are social distancing and they're following the guidelines. Other people are like, whatever, but they're not around a lot of people because they're just kind of out there, but no one's really out there. So it's not like they're getting a viral load. So that's why we're not seeing what was going on early on in China. Because I remember back in January watching those videos of people just dropping like flies. They were doing the heavy-handed quarantine. I mean, they were seeing the hospitals were just filled up with people because there's so many people in China, and they were still congregating. Here, we had enough of the indicators watching those videos. We have enough of our leaders getting on the media and saying, okay, and we have a lot of the henny pennies, the sky is falling, which is good, okay? But it's only delaying the inevitable. We're not going to get a vaccine anytime soon. You really can't put your hopes and dreams in a prescription drug. I mean, you could, but not everybody can handle that prescription drug. And the holistic remedies, people don't know how to even do those. So it's like, it's not going to end. And last night was an indicator for me, and I won't go into too much detail about that. It's nothing to do with me, but it's my friend. And I'm saying it's not over with. I'm going to get my coffee. Hold on. Like I woke up like coughing up all this phlegm and all this mucus. Okay? So my body works its processes overnight. and then I wake up in the morning and I get rid of the excess. And that's how not even say strategic, but that's how so on point my body is, that it's able to do what it needs to do overnight, even through whatever I went through last night with a friend. Right, Tiffany? Okay. And then I'll go to sleep for a few hours and I wake up just coughing and hacking and pooping, and then my nasal passageways are totally clear. But when I wake up hacking and coughing and having to poop, when I have all that phlegm, it's because my colon is full of poop, and so I have to go poop it out. Once all my poop is out of my system, my nasal passageways are clear. No more phlegm, no more mucus. Okay, when your body's working that efficiently, your alimentary canal, which is connected, will be like a clear communication between all the points. There isn't any backups, there isn't any clog ups, there isn't any anomalies in all of the communication points of my alimentary canal. So my ass and my nose are talking to each other, and it tells me, my indicators tell me, oh, I got poop in my system, I got excess data, I got antigen in my system, you've got to release it. As soon as I blow my nose, and as soon as I poop, everything is gone. See, and when I'm done pooping, there's no more mucus. So it's just such an interesting phenomenon when you reach that point of where you have clear communication between all points of your alimentary canal. And that is the whole point of the Jilly Juice, is to repair your alimentary canal. So that way all of the 11 different systems that connect to your alimentary canal are so working so well that then you will understand the symptoms and the healing process, the pain process, the upgrade, and you're not going to fight it. Okay? You'll do what you can to deal with it relative to your tolerance level, and then eventually it'll be repaired. You'll never have to revisit whatever those issues are ever again. Yeah, smooth pooping and mucus out. Yeah, those two are connected. They really are. And so that's why I'm able to drink coffee, because coffee is not bad. Those that say, oh my God, people drinking coffee and people, eating processed food and doing all these things, when you're demonizing food, and you're teaching your kids to demonize food, and your kids can't eat certain foods, it's like you paint people in a corner, because you're now telling them that your body can't handle the environment, and as they get older, their freedoms and their ability to adapt becomes that much less. Okay, and that's the danger of the holistic world. That's the danger of the allopathic world, is when you paint yourself in a corner, and it starts off in childhood. My parents taught me, salt and sugar are the demons. They kept the salt off the table. They gave us sugar-free food, so we had aspartame. Okay, we had like the sunflakes, which is like the frosted flakes, but they're called sunflakes. We had the sugar-free candies as a kid. Okay, the sorbets, SORBEE. We got them at the Price Club. They came in these big bulk, and it was kind of like a laxative in a lot of ways when you eat too many of those sorbets. And so yeah, I was taught as a kid in the 80s to demonize salt and sugar. So we had low sodium diets, and then we had low sugar diets, and we had ice cream and things like that as a treat, but we didn't get the cookies, the cakes, and the candies in our lunches. We didn't get the Twinkies. We didn't get the Ho-Hos. Okay, we didn't have the high sugary Captain Crunch cereals. We had Cheerios and Corn Flakes and the sugar-free, Sunflakes. Okay, so when we teach our kids to demonize food, and we teach our kids that, this food's bad, that food's bad, and their kids are not acclimating and able to process the food supply, because everything in the food supply is safe. If it's FDA approved, it is safe. Okay, well, what about the prescription drugs? Yeah, well, if you didn't have imbalances in your body, mind, and spirit, you wouldn't need the FDA approved drugs. But everything in the food supply, FDA approved, is perfectly safe. If you can't handle the food supply, then you have imbalances that you're sustaining. And parents will paint their kids in a corner because the kids come out with predispositions. The parents perpetuate that, sustain it. and then the kids carry that through their adulthood, and then as their body starts degrading, they can't handle their environment. Their ability to adapt becomes less and less and less until cancer or disease or some kind of event where it even take them even more way behind the 8 ball. So with the J juice, this virus, this pandemic is an indicator of how you're not able to adapt, of your inability to adapt to your environment. Because it's not just attacking your lungs. Remember, they're saying mystery illnesses are coming out of this virus. It's not that it's an illness, it's the fact that you have predispositions that you never really knew you had, and this virus is bringing it to surface. It's forcing you to deal with your weaknesses. So if you have weak lungs, yeah, the virus is going to attack the weak lungs, and it attaches to the weaknesses. So and since it's so communicable, of course the lungs are going to be the first thing that's going to attack, because that's the first line of defense. So if something is aerosol, or it's from human to human contact, and you're breathing it in, well, guess what it's going to hit first? Your nasal passageways. And so that's when people start getting all of their symptoms, not even just respiratory. They're getting exacerbation in their diabetes. They're getting exacerbation in their cancers. They're getting exacerbation in their rheumatoid arthritis. They're getting exacerbation in the weaknesses, like if they have weak gums, or they have root canals, or they have obesity, or they have psoriasis or eczema. All of that is going to be exacerbated. You're going to see a major exponential symptom, you're going to see a major uptick of all of the predispositions you have, as well as all what you have currently, as well as what is going to be triggered, that is laying dormant inside, hasn't triggered yet. Some of you have heart attack predispositions that you know it's in your family, but it hasn't triggered yet. However, this virus will speed up time to where you're going to see what your future is going to be like if you don't change your ways. And that's why the Jilly Juice comes in, because it does change your biochemistry. And Jeannie Hives goes, that's just it. That's the scary part. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This virus is no joke. It's going to point out every single weakness. Every single virus that is so strong is going to point out the weaknesses. The flu virus, I was immune to. However it mutated the last couple of years, ever since Dr. Phil, okay, I've been immune to every single flu virus. So the flu mutations in the population every year since 2018 never affected me. Never affected me. 2018 of spring. Since the Dr. Phil show, and me going on 8 different airplanes, breathing in recycled air under the stress, I had not had a nary of a symptom as far as the flu virus. And then this came around as far as the coronavirus. And holy crap. This is a whole other level. Okay? So, those of you that are not doing the J Juice, you're going to be seeing some shit pretty soon. Oops. Sorry. What did Tim, how did the infected tooth show up? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. After that tooth is out, not now he's better. Yeah. Oh, I believe it. Oh, yeah. I've seen it in my friends. They said they've complained of, they had swollen mouth. Some people's cold sores come up. Canker sores come up. Every single thing. And so what I've been doing when I've been dealing with these things that came up, because I've had all these very mild symptoms of the coronavirus or the flu virus, whatever it is, I don't know. I've just been drinking the J Juice, combating it, because now I'm on the other side where I can actually fight I won't say fight, but I can actually heal very quickly on the J Juice, to where I can take the J Juice and the pain disappears. But those of you that are way behind the 8 ball doing the J Juice, when you take the J Juice and you're trying to deal with your symptoms, the pain's not going to disappear right away. Now, I have taken the J Juice for a headache, and the pain didn't disappear, and I just stayed with it. I didn't try to fight it. I just let the body do what it's got to do. And then the next morning, I was fine. But those that are on the J Juice for a long time can feel a symptom, take the J Juice, and they don't have the symptom anymore, because their body was so their body is so like on point that it's able to heal very quickly with that amount of J Juice, because they've primed their body for the last 4 years while on the J Juice. But some of you who are way behind the 8 ball are trying to take Jilly Juice for your pain, and you're not getting the pain free because you haven't earned it yet. Your body is still trying to heal. So you're going to still continue to be in pain unless you take some kind of antibiotic, AntiLife, which would undermine somebody's ability to regenerate at the micro level, but at least you can manage your life, and then hopefully then you taking the Jilly Juice and healing and sealing will be able to repair despite your antibiotic intake. Okay, and remember, it's all about proportions. If you take way more antibiotics than the Jilly Juice type probiotic, then the AntiLife, the mitigating of cell regeneration at the micro level will win out, and that's when people die, and that's when they have cancer, disease, and chronic illness. Chemo and radiation are no different than taking an antibiotic. Okay, hold on. Cannabis, anti-inflammatories, antimicrobials, antifungals, antibacterials, anti-parasites, antivirals are all antibiotic. They're anti-life at the micro level that will eventually either trigger reproduction and then trigger at the macro level a destruction, a recycling back to the universe. So that's why I say, reproduction, in the population as far as creating babies is a sign of an imbalanced body, that your body is really that bad that eventually at some point it's going to give out and not exist anymore, and here's your clone. Your offspring is your clone because you basically set the stage that you're not going to exist anymore. And that is the climate of our current society at this point, until I've just changed everything. I've taken substantiated science. I've taken academic peer review articles, peer review research, and condensed it with a different perspective. So that way I've substantiated every single thing that I'm saying. However, I'm saying instead of having to die, maybe you actually can live on a continuous basis despite the environment. And so, yeah, I'm getting these crazy emails from people. I'm not even crazy anymore. Now they're just like, okay, now they have a different tactic. Now these emails are saying, well, I have ADHD and I have this and I have that. And they're going to my website. Okay, most likely they've gone to my Facebook page. Most likely they've gone to my YouTube. They found me on Dr. Phil, but they found my website. They're like, hey, can you give me the exact ingredients of the Jilly Juice? Is it going to cure this? Is it going to cure that? And if you have to, if anyone emails me asking me for the recipe, if anybody emails me asking for some kind of like major guidance, like as if I was going to walk them through the whole process, and they haven't done their research, they just looked at my website. They didn't even buy the book, even the current book on the market, which is going to be revised and going to be discontinued. But if they haven't even checked out my website or checked out my Facebook page, they haven't checked out my YouTube, they haven't checked out anything, I don't even answer the email. I just block and delete the email because there's no point in me. I mean, the people that I want on the protocol are the ones that actually do their homework. The ones that go and follow me for a while. They at least buy the book, they read it, they're like, okay, or they wait until June, or they go onto my YouTube, watch all the videos, or they go to my personal Facebook page, which is basically open to the public, and they follow me there. Or they say, hey, how can I get into your group? Not, how do I'm dealing with ADHD, I'm dealing with this, dealing with that. Now, Mari Fuller did send me an email, but I could tell with her, it was very genuine. I'm looking at these other emails, and it's like these kids are trying to just take up my time with wanting all of this stuff. I mean, Mari didn't say like, give me the recipe. She's like, I've been following you for the last 6 months. I have this predisposition, this condition, and I'm ready. What do I got to do to get into your group? I've watched you for a while. I've come from a very educated place, and that's who I respond to, are those that take the time, that have already studied me, not wanting me to basically take them from square one to then square 50, but they've already taken the time to check me out. Not so much like, watch me through Dr. Phil, which is a total skewed perception of me, but they actually learned or check me out from the horse's mouth. So yeah, so I yesterday they private messaged me asking me, well, they asked me a question, and I said, no, I'm not answering any questions through private messenger. And they were asking me something, I forget what it was. I mean, that's how like how I just move through people very quickly. And then I'm like, okay, so this person's serious. I'm not answering that question, but I'll add them into the group because the group has condensed information. They can go do research. Oh, that's right. She wanted about waterfalls. That's right. She's like, well, I don't know what waterfalls are. If you have been watching me, you would know what waterfalls are in some way, shape, or form. If you're doing the J Juice and you don't know what waterfalls are, you shouldn't be doing the J Juice. If you hear me talk about waterfalls and you're doing the J Juice and you had no idea what waterfalls are, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be answering that question because I know how you're going to perceive the answer. Because I know people and I know how they perceive shit. So ask me no questions, I will tell you no lies. And that's so the honest to goodness truth. I've explained waterfalls in so many videos. It's in my first book, or it's in my book right now that's out. And if you haven't even gotten that book, to at least give you a primer of what this Jilly Juice is about. And you say, oh, I watched all the videos. No, you haven't. I watched the video. What video did you watch? I'm not going back and forth with people. Then I let her into the group because I'm going to give her a chance. I'm going to show her the waterfall video, let her know what it is in an indirect way, that it's nothing that's dehydrative or anything like that. No gratitude. None. Nothing like, hey, thanks for inviting me into your group. Thanks for giving me this opportunity to learn on my own. No gratitude. But I'm like, okay, whatever. Some people just don't want to say anything. Okay, fine. And then she goes and comments on someone who is doing like their little, hey, I did 9 cups of J Juice. And she's showing her, the Sharon, I think, is in there that's doing that. Or Shannon. And she's like, no kale? I'm like, I'm done. Nope. You are, and that was her only comment. It was a very cryptic comment of no kale. And I'm like, you're not Jilly Juice material. You're not grateful. You're not thankful. And you haven't done your research. You have no idea what the fuck waterfalls are. And you're doing this protocol. You are one of those that have to have a doctor to go through and give you a step-by-step directive. This is not for you. So that's how I determine who is actually a candidate for my J Juice, because they've already done their research. They've done their research, or if they haven't done their research, they are so silent, they're doing the research. They don't ask me any questions because there's really no questions to ask. If you have to ask if this is safe for your kid, you're not a contender for this protocol. Jilly Juice is food. That's all Jilly Juice is. It's food. It's not antibiotic. It's not a remedy. It's not a cure. It's fucking food. If you think that kids do not deserve to have food and you want to, and she's called herself a health therapist, you ain't a pro. It's like, oh yeah, my mom does it. She loves it. Well, isn't that good enough for you? If your mom is endorsing this and your mom is older than you and you're not even doing it, then you know what? I don't want those kind of people in my group where they ask if this is safe for a kid. It's freaking food. So that's why I'm very selective in who is I bring in, and that's why I do the adding very slowly. I'll add people that I know on my page that I can kind of know they haven't done it yet, or they've done it and they haven't really given me a reason to bring them into the group, or they haven't given themselves a reason to bring them into the group. So, but I added a lot of people into the group, and there are trolls in there. Yes, oh believe me, there are trolls in there. But those that I kind of see on my Facebook and say, okay, I'm doing it, or I love it, or whatever, I'll bring them in. And I know people can, let me tell you, everybody can screenshot. They can screenshot whatever the hell they want in the group. There's nothing private in the group. Everything that I have is so transparent. Everybody has access to it. Okay? So what I want is people so grateful and they're willing to give a testimony. Because if you've been on the J Juice protocol and you can't give a testimony, then defending J Juice by being defensive and coming from a very weak point, then is like, defending something that you have not substantiated. No different than railing against something that you've never tried. So if you're defending something that you've never given a testimony to and you're coming off weak and you're saying you're being bugged by trolls, where's your testimony? Your best defense against any naysayer is an amazing life, an amazing benefit, and a major testimony. So that's why I say I want only grateful people in my group, as well as people that give testimonies. So I want either silent people or grateful, or silent and grateful. But I don't want anything in between. No fear, no asking anyone to teach you this, Nobody trying to reassure you, give you guarantees. I mean, so I'm narrowing down who it is that's a candidate. Some of you are not there yet. So you either are silent or you're watching from the sidelines. I'm okay with that. And then one day you'll be there. You'll be like, yeah, I've been watching for the last 6 or 7, 8, 9 months. I'm ready. Bam. Here is all of my stuff. Here is, what I've experienced. And that's fine. Some of you will blow smoke at my ass. Say, yeah, you're doing it. You love it. I'll add you to the group. And you're just now, silently doing what you got to do. And I'm fine with that too, because there's nothing hidden in the group. I know there's some people that were a troll in there that was contacting me last year when I was going through my hard time, and they try to report one of my videos or one of the videos in the group. And let me tell you, it's very difficult to accidentally report a video, because for you to get to the point of where it gets reported to me, you have to go through several steps that you actually have to read. Why are you reporting this video? It's because you're concerned. They're doing harm to themselves. It's inappropriate. There are specific things that you have to actually press to say that you're reporting this video. It's not just like you hit it and then all of a sudden it goes to me and goes to the Facebook, whatever, moderators out there. No, there are specific parameters you take that you actually have to consciously think about and do. It's an intention. When you report any video in my group, it's an intention. So I got rid of a known troll in there. That's a known troll. Anytime anyone reports a video or reports a comment or a thread, it is an intention that has to go through several steps. It's not an accidental thing. So anyways, anyone that reports anything in my group, it'll go to me. And maybe you can report something that might go to the Facebook admins, that's fine. But if it ever goes to me, it's not an accident. It's not. There are no accidents in this world. All right. Anyways, that's really it. But I'm just letting you know, this pandemic is not going to be over right now. We're flattening the curve because everyone's freaking home because they're taking this seriously. And then what's going to happen is that everyone's going to go out when they loosen the restrictions, and they're going to congregate. But it's going to be an Orwellian society. So now you're going to have the protesters. See, the self-fulfilling prophecy is the anti-government people and the protesters are going to force martial law, and they're going to force them to go do indefinite detainment. You can still thrive in a society that's under a virus lockdown. And it's not even a virus lockdown like you think it is. This is not Nazi Germany. We're in our home. If you have a job, you go to your job. If you're able to work from home, do your job from home. Okay? The anti-government people are making this out to be something that David Icke, whatever, is fanning these flames. But they make a lot of money. All of the anti-government conspiracy people are making a shit ton of money off of the fears, the irrational fears, as far as an Orwellian government. But you can still thrive in this type of environment. You just have to know how to play the game. And if you don't even know how to play the game before the Jilly Juice, and you're still fighting against something that was never really there, imagine trying to play the game with this virus. And with, imagine. There's no freaking way. You will fail at playing the game. The Jilly Juice is going to help you adapt to the new game that's being played. And so, you could wait for the angel of death to pass over you and see if you actually have what it takes to handle the angel of death, or you can be proactive, bring up your predispositions and face the demons head on, or you wait for the demons to build up their forces and attack you. And that's why, people in the Jilly Juice will not succumb to that, because they are building up their own defenses to go and meet the demon right there in its natural environment. So you have two choices, but this pandemic is not over. Believe me, not over by a long shot. The president may say, May 1st, the governors may be like, yeah, we're going to loosen restrictions, but they're under they're under public pressure. And we have a very politicizing of this, the left versus the right. The right thinks the left is trying to suppress your freedoms. Okay. Then I hope you have what it takes. Okay. And I'm a Republican, but I understand the reality of this virus too. I don't politicize this. You got to be able to see both sides of this. And if you can't, then okay, you better have what it takes to back up your politics. All right, that's it. You guys have a good day. Bye.